925 Mother Effing Podcast, back at it again with another episode. Yes, it sounds like it. Yeah, it's because it is. We're on a voice note right now.
Yeah, and is this the third time that we're recording this? Maybe.
Yeah, it is. You know, we're a little rusty right now. It's all right. We are recording this because we forgot to record the ad when we were at the studio podcast, so that's why you will see no video if you're on YouTube. Hi, what's up? This is our logo, 925. Don't worry, the video's on the way. But before we get this episode started, we want to give a big thank you to the sponsor of this episode, Sticks and Stones.
They also...
Yeah, let them know.
I just designed their whole new website, and it's finally up and running. So if you want to go check that out at hellagoodsskincare.com, you go check that out.
Oh, yeah. No, it looks great, by the way. Good job, Felicia.
Thanks.
Knuckle bump.
Did you even see it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
They posted on their story, you know.
Okay.
You know, I'm tuned in. You can check them out. And if you're on their website, you know, browsing, looking at what Felicia did, you can use our promo code HELLA925. HELLA
925, the numbers.
And that's for 15% off. Big shout out again to our winner of last week's episode. She got the I Got 5 on a collection on its way to her. I hope she enjoys that.
Yeah. And we're probably going to do more giveaways and stuff, so keep following them so they can choose you.
Follow them on their Instagram at StickStoneSkin. And Sticks and Stones, thank you guys so much. We'll actually be seeing you this weekend. So we're going to go down to the spot and hang out and see what's going on. You know, might get a little massage, you know, mani-pedi, you know, turn it up. And, so we're super excited to see you guys out there. And, enjoy this episode. Very, very fun episode. We love you guys. Yay! Special guests in the building, the Mexipino podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate you driving all the way out here too.
Yeah, man.
It was such a fun drive.
In LA, 4 minutes, man.
Hey, it could turn into an hour sometimes.
It could.
If it got freaky. Yeah, no, thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
How did you guys get started with your podcast together?
You wanna break it down? Because she was grilling me.
Yeah. No, I love it.
It was initially my idea. So I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I was really kind of like scared to do it by myself. I just always thought I'm like, no one's gonna listen to if it's just me. But then Nico started streaming on Twitch, doing DJ stuff, and then I started making appearances. And people just loved my commentary on things that he would do, especially since he does a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, I'll usually I'll talk about stupid shit or basically just some very guy stuff, right? Yeah. But so then Jackie's very good at combating what I say. We don't always agree on everything, and a lot of the time it's just very playful. So when we noticed on Twitch that people liked it when we bantered or just went back and forth or just even argued. Okay. And I say argue, you know what I mean? I say argue because we don't actually argue like that, but healthy arguments, right?
Right.
It's people enjoyed that. So when she brought up the idea to have a podcast, I'm like, well, we already have an established audience on Twitch.
Yeah.
People like how we talk, so might as well
bring it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Which works out really great too. I think the dynamic between your vocals, you guys both have great voices. Really tight.
And that's coming from the rapper.
No,
it's love. No, I'm just I'm hearing it in my headphones right now. I was like, yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, this sounds good. This sounds crisp.
But I mean, you got experience with DJ and being on vocals and getting a hype. And I was wondering, do you have a radio background or anything?
So I initially started entertainment hosting and reporting.
Yeah.
I used to do on-camera stuff for this company who was a Dodgers fan base. And I did a lot of on-camera work, just kind of doing daily or weekly updates. And then started hosting in stadium for the single A team for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And then I actually didn't get into radio until recently, so I've been auditioning for a couple of radio gigs.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I host for Dodgers. I'm the one that's on screen in between the innings and everything.
That's
and then
fire.
I do LA Galaxy and UCLA Athletics. So
that's amazing. Yeah.
She does every freaking sport in LA, man.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. No, I think that we wanted to kind of use this episode to kind of just get to know you guys a little bit better, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%.
That's totally fine.
So it's so funny because it's like I was telling Jackie, I was like, I wonder what they're gonna ask because usually like we're the ones asking questions.
Yeah. No,
and I was telling Nico, I was all like, I've never been like someone's guest on like a podcast. I was like, so sick. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be interesting.
We popping the cherry today.
Come on, it's an honor to have you guys for real. And if anybody doesn't know, just real quickly, how can they find your podcast?
Mexipino podcast everywhere. Did we even introduce ourselves? I don't even think
we're just like jumping right in. Yeah, run it. Like, take it away.
Yeah, Mexipino podcast. That's our podcast. I'm the Filipino. She's the Mexican. So,
yeah, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. And then my name is Nico Blitz, NICOAK Blitz everywhere, y'all.
And I'm Jackie Ramirez. I'm Jackie Ramirez everywhere. So
yeah.
No, so I'm trying to think like where we can even get this started because me and you go back maybe just before the pandemic,
dude. Maybe
2019.
Like, yeah, maybe like 2009. Yeah, I was gonna say about 3 years.
Yeah. I was in my rich homie Cam loves to go to this restaurant.
Rich homie.
Your rich homie.
It's my rich homie.
Which one?
Cameron Nguyen. Cam Fairfax. That's my rich homie.
Cam's the rich homie.
He really is because he likes going to these bougie restaurants sometimes, right? Just so we were at this one down the street, nice place, just getting a little Jack and Coke, chilling, hanging out.
Nice.
And we're in there. We've been in here quite a few times, but we've never heard Mac Dre in this restaurant, especially in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And it was in Woodland Hills too, wasn't it?
Yeah, out there in Woodland Hills, just cool little area over there,
You don't hear it out there.
No, definitely not. And immediately when I heard it come on over the speakers, I said, I need to shake this man's hand. And so I walked over and there's Nico and he's over there just, tearing it up, which is tight because at Joey, do they not have like a specific playlist for you to play? They just say, hey, come in and play whatever?
So at that time, they were just like, hey, like, just do your thing.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll just do my thing. I have a whole bunch of clean music from doing radio and everything anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Like, it's a very chill, lax night. Like, let me just hype myself up a little bit, play some Bay Area music. And that's when Miles came up, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm not even going to lie, though, bro. Like, I was just so focused on music. So when you, like, came over and you're like, oh, my name is Miles, I'll follow you on Twitter. I was like, okay, cool, whatever.
No, which is tight. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I will never, ever expect somebody to know what's going on. Ever. I don't know. It's just never felt like. I never felt that way, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not even tripping on none of that at all. Like, I honestly didn't even think you would know anyways. And then I go back and sit down. 5 minutes later, Do My Step comes on.
Yeah, because then I ended up looking at your Twitter handle. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
No, it's all love. It's all love. Yeah, so I would never like try to expect that, like especially on first, meeting somebody. But
you probably like went up hella confident. He humbled you real quick.
No, not even. I was literally just going over because I was like, dang, this is amazing. I'm from the Bay Area and I'm in Los Angeles and I'm hearing Mac Dre, right? That's just gonna connect any Bay Area people.
Yeah,
especially
man.
outside.
Dude, for real.
I had to come over. I was like, let me shake this man's hand.
Well, that's why it's funny because even when I DJ nowadays, I get so like, especially at the club, like I get so iffy about playing a Bay Area song.
Yeah.
But then once I'll just do like an area check, like how many people are from the Bay?
Yeah.
I noticed you do that
I'm
now.
just like, all right, cool. I could go through a little like 3-4 songs now. It'll be lit.
I love it. Yeah, no, it's fun. Like getting to connect with Bay Area people outside of the Bay Area is always very, very special.
Oh yeah.
I will say, ever since I met Nico, like I have never like known so many Bay Area people in my life, and I didn't know there was so many Bay Area people in LA.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I think like I know more Bay Area people now than I do LA people. So
which is great.
crazy.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah.
It is.
I also have a confession.
Yes.
Destiny Rogers just did a club performance.
Yes.
And Miles texted me while I was there and was like, y'all are going to be on the podcast. And it was a perfect opportunity for me to be like, hi, I'm Felicia, whatever. But I was so shy. I was in her section just chilling. And
you were there?
Yeah, I was literally there.
What the
but
heck?
I was like, I'm too. And then you came over, I think, to talk to Destiny one time. And I was like, all right, this is my time. And then I just got too shy.
Why didn't you say anything?
But I was the one that told her to go up and request Pilo.
That was me.
Okay, yeah, because then Destiny came up to me toward the end of the night. She was like, "Yo, Nico, like, I just need one Pilo song, just one." And I'm like, I mean, I could play more, but if you literally just want one, I will play one Pilo song.
Right. Nah, how'd you get like that?
I don't
You're
know.
really
I'm
shy.
shy.
I just thought
I
like
thought maybe the alcohol would help, but it just didn't. Maybe I take a shot, I'll go up to them. Didn't work.
I'm texting her like I'm at the house like tripping like. You're really not gonna go up and say hi to them? Like we're about to have them on. We just locked it in.
Matter of fact, you should have came for the second day in a row.
No, I know that would have been fun, bro. 'Cause Jeremy Passion the night before. Thank you again for
of course,
locking that in. But what a guy, by the way. Just
Jeremy
pulled up to the club solo. 2 bottles of tequila for him.
I know, for real.
bro.
He was chilling.
He pulled up solo?
Just came to the club solo.
Yeah, so
He had that whole section that you guys were in.
Yeah.
He had that whole section
all to
by
himself. Literally all
was
to
such a
himself.
vibe,
And it
though.
was so funny because like a mob of girls, like I don't know how they got on stage, but they came up as like he was sitting down, and that poor guy, he was sitting on that couch. He was like terrified.
And I was like,
Yeah.
yo, get these girls off the stage. He's a married man. He got like,
Right.
I know
got
he has
2
at least
kids.
1 or 2 kids. I'm like, get all these girls off the
Yeah.
stage, man.
And it was funny. And then it was after like his performance and everything, he was chilling for a bit. And then Miles was by the stairs. And I know somebody said like, oh, like all the girls that came, they told like, you guys can go take pictures now. So then I told Miles, I was like, hey, you might want to move because there's going to be like a whole bunch of girls. I was like, and then I was like, it's going to be overwhelming. And he's like, thank you. And I was like, okay, cool.
No, so that's why I just scooted out of the way, just over closer to the DJ.
Right to the side of the couch.
Yeah. No, it's been really cool. Can we dive a little bit deeper? So obviously, we connect from the Bay Area. We're out there in Joey, just vibing, Jack and Coke, and some Mac Dre. But you're from the Bay Area.
Yes.
What part of the Bay?
415, born and
415.
raised, San Francisco.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about just growing up there, and because you were involved in dance as well.
Man, I like literally any Bay Area Filipino stereotype you could think of. I was 1,000% involved in.
Yeah.
Minus the fact that I'm not from Daly City.
Okay, that's the only
But his parents reside in Daly City
Yeah, but my
now.
parents currently live
Alright,
in Daly
alright.
City, so it's like one of
you
those
go.
things. No, but yeah, I was like super heavy in like the turf community.
Yeah.
Like man, like honestly, Do My Step was like one of the songs that like we always danced and listened to growing up. So that's why it
Wow.
was like a
That's
funny
great.
situation like meeting you. But yeah, like my boy, he actually introduced me to turfing back in like 2007, 2008. So
that's that time.
yeah, it was around that time. So literally, bro, like we would do like street shows like in downtown San Francisco. Like you know where the ferry is, right?
Mhm.
There used to be a Forever 21 like right there. It'd be like Urban Outfitters, Forever 21, and then like a little like circle where people would just dance.
Talking about like right there, like off Market.
Right off
Yeah,
Market
where
Street,
it turns around. Yeah.
Exactly. So we'd be over there with like, like the homies at the time. Still homies, but like, man, we would just dance for hours. It'd be like 8-hour days as if it was like a freaking work shift, bro.
I love that.
It was on YouTube.
Yeah, no, we definitely got to pull some of those up. Got to see that at some point. So what were some of the songs you're playing? So Do My Step was one of them at some point.
Yeah, at some point it
Which
was
is
Do My
awesome.
Step. It was a whole bunch of Lil Wayne too, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the turf dance community was so heavy on Lil Wayne, you could have sworn Lil Wayne was from the Bay.
Wow, yeah. I didn't even
Promise
realize that.
you, bro.
No, that Lil Wayne, that era of Lil Wayne was like goated also.
Dude,
like 2008.
seriously.
Yeah.
Bro, it was like No Ceilings. That was the project that was out at the time. It was like Carter 3, like all that stuff. Like, bro, the amount of times we danced to Lil Wayne, and I'm not just talking about me and my crew, but like
everyone.
literally the entire community. Like Lil Wayne should have like got paid from us. It was
That's
nuts,
fire.
bro.
Yeah. Really,
His
you really
royalties
put
would have
him
been
on.
through the roof.
Yeah, bro.
No, for sure. So around that time, were you also DJing, or is that something that you found later on?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I was like back then. It was really just like turfing was like my main thing. I was actually like rapping at that time too, just in high
Got
school.
you. Okay.
Like a little.
Also
little
on
something.
YouTube.
Let's go. Come on, we're gonna run through all of them.
I'll just send you guys a link so you can pull all that.
Yeah. No, we need that.
No, but
Please
then
put
it
it on the
wasn't
screen.
until it actually wasn't until February 2017 where I like really bought myself a DJ controller and started DJing.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a backstory on that. Like, I ended up going to Cal State LA back in 2014, and I went to school out there for 2 years. That's the whole reason why I moved. And it was for learning how to do broadcast journalism.
Okay,
so I learned how to do radio in school, and then I met a whole bunch of DJs from school. So the DJs were kind of teaching me like what to do for the 2 years that I was out here initially. And then my grandma's 75th birthday was in February 2017. My mom had told me, like, hey, like, why don't you come back home, obviously, for your grandma's birthday, but make sure you load up your iPod or your iPhone with music. And I'm just like, first of all, I'm not going to have my iPhone, like, on a speaker for, like, 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to need to talk to people, too.
For sure.
So I was like, you know what? Let me buy a DJ controller. Let me figure it out. Long story short, I bought my DJ controller, went back to the Bay for the weekend. My grandma like came in crying because she didn't know any of this was happening. It was a surprise party.
Oh yeah.
And literally the music sucked.
Really?
Nico's worst game.
Dude, like, because I had all the right songs, but like I didn't know how to like blend or anything at that time.
Got you. Okay, so like
So
It was just
rough.
pressing buttons at that point.
Yeah, it was rough, bro. It was so rough.
what kind of controller was it?
It
Do you
was a
remember which one it was?
Denon. It was the one that I was using at Joey Woodland Hills. It was a Denon MC7000.
Got you.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
I've-
like normally
I
like
don't know what that means.
well,
I
so
was like, wow.
to put it into let me put it into perspective, right? Like all of us have iPhones, right?
Right.
So the iPhone equivalent in the DJ world would be a Pioneer controller. Me, I wanted to go against the grain and get an Android equivalent, which would be the Denon.
Got you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one of those.
Yeah, it was one of those. I was like, well, I'm gonna be rebellious. I'm gonna do my thing.
I'm different.
Ask me if I still use that controller.
He probably threw it away.
Nah.
You threw it away?
Hell no, I don't
Yeah,
use
it's
that
over.
controller.
It's over. Yeah. No, that's amazing. But I mean, so it got you started though.
It did get me
You
started.
definitely got in there, and
Yeah.
you're playing grandma gigs
Yeah.
at the very beginning, which like is a great place to start.
Great place to start, man. I mean, like, it was a family event, obviously.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings.
Super humble. I just remember there was like one portion of the evening where I did something so rough. I think I like backspun the track, and then
Yeah.
everyone literally just looked at me like it was one of those moments I was like, dude, like I'm so happy that this just happened with family and not like
And-
on
and
some
actually-
in real life stuff where I got paid for or anything.
Oh yeah,
That's
no, for
it.
sure. Because at that point you were like, "Damn, I'm gonna spin this back. This is gonna be hard." Like,
Yeah, man. I was like,
He was
I-
feeling confident after like 3 songs.
yeah, and then after that, I was just playing like literally any Filipino favorite party song that you could think of. It was like September by Earth, Wind and Fire,
okay,
some
okay.
Michael Jackson, a whole bunch of Filipino songs,
Yeah,
sing-alongs, and I'm like, all right, cool.
That's
like,
funny.
we made it through the night.
Yeah,
That's the
there you
most
go.
important. And my grandma was happy.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's all that matters.
Hey, speaking of Michael Jackson, I'm trying to do this thing. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Because she had a question that she wanted to ask. I wonder if you guys ever have this issue because you guys are talking to each other. Sometimes I don't know if you have a guest on the podcast. Does it ever get harder? Like you talk more than she does, or you're talking more than Nico does?
At first it was like that.
Yeah.
It was like very difficult for me to kind of decipher like, okay, when do I jump in? When do I put in my 2 cents? Because Nico's been doing podcasting for like ever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And at one point, like I think it was like the 3rd episode, I was just like, fuck, like this feels like Nico's podcast, like, and so then, but now I have an understanding, like I know how to set up like, questions that I want to ask, or I know how to direct a conversation into like, so I can take over, and so that way he's not the one that's always talking.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
it took me a while though.
to figure out like when you want to jump in
Yeah.
and how to do
Yeah.
it smooth.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to figure that out too. Because I think the majority of the time I'll keep it going and I'll just stay talking, even though we have like all our notes and bullet points that we have. I
Yeah.
feel like I try to keep it going because I don't ever want there to be a moment where it pauses. Right, and so if I don't have you, I don't know like when you're gonna jump in or not, or if you're going to. So now I'm just gonna call it out. All right, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Yo, I love that. I
so
love
funny,
that.
though.
Jump straight into it.
It's just hella fun. That's hella funny.
Okay, Michael Jackson. We had
Michael.
John Boogie on the podcast. Jay Verbone. Do you know who that is? He like does dancing for like Justin Bieber and stuff like that too. But he basically says like every dancer usually has like a backstory of like, oh, like Michael Jackson, like he was the one I looked up to. Did you have someone like that, or was it Michael Jackson, or like how'd you get into it?
Like, how'd I get into like DJing in general, or just,
No, like dancing.
No,
like dancing and music? Oh, that's actually a great
Like
question.
inspiration wise.
Yeah, you know what really sparked my want to dance was America's Best Dance Crew.
Sick.
Yeah, everyone in here knows America's Best Dance Crew.
Yeah.
Such a throwback. But like, you know, when you think about people like the Jabberwockies, for example, who are from the Bay, and then when you think about, I don't know if you guys remember Supreme Soul. Yeah, so they're also a dance group from the Bay. But
Iconic
then, you know,
Boys was my thing.
Iconic Boys. Okay, Iconic
That's when I started
Boys.
fangirling over.
Yeah, I liked Iconic Boys, and then there's the one dancer, Nick Mara, that was in Iconic Boys. And he's in a
Yes.
group now called Pretty Much, and I really liked them.
I've heard of Pretty Much.
Yeah,
I've heard of Pretty Much.
but that's how I was familiar with
yeah,
Pretty Much is because of him.
But like dancing was just like, you know, especially being like Asian, like, you know, I didn't really see too many like DJs or like radio jocks or, you know, even people in music. So like when you're like a 13, 14-year-old like Filipino Asian kid and you see other Filipinos like doing it literally on TV, it's like, yo, like this is freaking cool.
Yeah.
That's how and especially because they're from the Bay, I'm like, dude, this is literally like my profile
Right.
on TV.
Yeah. No, which is exciting. Which
Yeah.
is cool. So going back into the DJ, so you only started like really in 2017, right there.
Yeah, as of now, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have thought that you would, you know, had been DJing, you know, a lot longer than that, which is really, you know, cool.
thank
Like
you.
you just like a natural, I guess. You just had this in you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, you know, you might be privy to this too because you've been doing music for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And so when people like, I mean, I've heard you could crank out music like fairly quickly, but that's because you've put in like so many hours to it. Like, you know, from when you were like, what, maybe like a decade ago or something like that?
Yeah, 2009.
Yeah, so even longer, right? So the way I think of it is just like I've been around DJs who have been doing it for like a decade or so. So a part of me was just like, well, in a decade's worth of time, how much time did they put into this specific craft?
Yeah.
And so from 2017, I told myself like, I literally want to catch up with the amount of hours that someone else has put in over a span of like a decade or so. So, and like, you know, literally on Twitch, like I think you were around, like while I was on Twitch, right, bro? Like literally 365 days consecutively just streaming.
Yeah.
With like maybe 3 or 4 hours every day. Like, bro, like,
You'll get there.
You'll get to 10,000 hours quickly.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
for
And that's
sure.
kind of like how I calculate at least my personal growth. Like how many hours did I put in today?
Yeah.
And how much time can I put in for like the following week? So
For
on and so
sure.
forth.
Now, before we got to the quarantine days, you were already getting gigs. You know, past the birthday party, you kind of started, you know, getting in more. What came first though? Did you start getting club gigs, or like things like Joey, or was it radio that came? Because you're on the radio as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm on the radio as well on maybe like 12 or 13 different stations as of right now.
Yeah.
But honestly, so after I did my grandma's gig, I came back to LA and I told myself, okay, because I'm not experienced, I need to gain a lot of experience. The good thing about working in radio at that time was that they would put us at like literally the most random spots. They'd put us in front of like a Ralph's. They'd put us in front of like a DD's discount, stuff like that.
It was more like that street team type
Yeah,
of
like
stuff.
street team
it was
stuff.
just like go and do this and hand out free stuff.
And they always told us like, hey, make sure there's some sort of music playing, whether it's just like off an iPhone or whatever.
Okay.
So I told myself, I'm like, dude, I don't want to like sit outside of like a DD's discount for like 2 hours. Let me bring my controller and let me DJ. Let me practice.
Yeah.
And literally everybody who was like on the street team told me like, bro, like they're not paying you. Like, why are you doing it? I'm like, because I want to get better. And like, if I'm going to be here anyway, I might as well. Yeah. Bro, literally, like, we had events like 5 or 6 days out of the week. DJ'd every single event that I could until the radio started to like pay me to do, paid gigs.
Yeah.
The good thing about that too is because I got all my practice in, I was also working with Bootleg Kev and DJ Head at the time. And, normally around like December is when they want to try out new people.
Okay.
So that's when they told me like, hey, like you're a DJ, right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, do you want to like, try out like this December run, see how you do? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. Again, more free work that I was going to do. And that free work just kind of led to what's happening today.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, it's just cool to like I don't know. It kind of goes back to just putting in that, those hours again. And like just taking, you will always notice somebody that's going a little bit more, above and beyond. It's like those guys were saying, like, you don't have to be doing all that. But it's like, I mean, you saw an opportunity to grow for yourself too. And like, I mean, I think it made that situation better because like, if I'm going in to just get like some groceries and like, I can gig on my way in and out, like, it's just making a better experience for everybody.
Yeah, it's also those people that like, that say like, oh, well, why are you doing it? So it's those people that stay in that same situation that like, they complain and complain. It's like, why haven't I been getting a chance? It's like, well, have you put in the work for it? Do you want to put in the work for it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have to do things for free, especially in this industry. Like I've learned, like I'm still figuring it out, but I've learned that some things you do have to like take the small pay for, just do it for free, just for the experience. But then after a while, then that's when you can put your price on it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, can you imagine like when, you guys started as like Kalen and Miles at the time, it's like you guys probably didn't have like everything all together, but you guys purposely said, let's make this song, whatever your first song was, for free.
Yeah.
And then you see like the fruits of your labor just like, transpire after that.
Well, one of the main things we always talk about, and people have their different opinions on this, and I absolutely 100% respect it. It's about playing shows and getting to open up, right? Mm-hmm. When we first started out and we hadn't even done our own concert yet or sold real tickets before. Mm-hmm. If we had an opportunity to go play a show, the last thing on our mind was asking, hey, what's your budget? For the opener.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's like, no, okay, we're going to go play a show. So we get to get up in front of 100 people and show them our music. Yeah, we'll be there for sure, right? Mm-hmm. That was something that we never did. And at one point, maybe rubbed us the wrong way. Once we started building a following and we were able to play shows, we wanted to reach out just like how somebody reached out to us when we first started out and put them on a show. And that was the first thing that they said back was, okay, what's the budget for the opener? And, maybe I respect it. Like some people are like, no, this is my time. And like I have a show and it's like, I should get paid. And sometimes there is a budget, for openers that, it makes sense. But I think we were looking for somebody that, to put in position like how, we were back in the day. But I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on that same topic though. You get what I mean? Like,
you want to say something about this?
Well, because like, I mean, I've like, as of lately, I've been getting booked for like solo gigs for like hosting like different events here and there. And at first I was just like, okay, like I was going in with the mindset like, okay, I might not get paid or I might get paid just a little bit. And then I would get okay, well, what's your day rate? And I literally remember the day I asked Nico, I was like, how do you determine your rate? Because I don't know. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, and like at Dodgers, I get paid like an hourly rate. At Galaxy, I get paid a flat rate for my day. Yeah. And so I told Nico, I was like, how do I determine this? Like, I don't know. But then there's like other and so like now I have a better understanding of like, okay, I will give them my rate, but a lot of the times they don't know that like I could go lower. Okay. Because I've gained so much experience. But initially, like, I didn't want to get paid. I was like, if it was an opportunity that I knew that I was going to meet people and network with them, I would have just done it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it all just comes with time too, honestly. Like, bro, I mean, I've said this before, but like I've had like gigs where I got paid like literally $25 an hour, which is like nowhere near what it is right now. Mm-hmm. But I think at that time, I also told myself like, okay, well, I want to do something that I love to do, which is and was and is DJing. So B, let me just figure it out. But then as time goes on, it's like you start to understand like more of your worth. Yeah. And as you were saying too, like the more you do it, the more people will notice.
Yeah.
And so if somebody, like, let's say I started off at like $25 an hour, and then another company comes in and is like, hey, so we have like a $300 budget, for example, for like 3 hours. Like, is that doable for you? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and do that. Now I know my rate is $100 an hour, right?
Yeah.
Now let's say another company comes in and they're like, hey, we saw that you do this and we have a budget of like $500 for 2 hours. Does that work for you? Hell yeah, let's just do it. You know what I mean? And then it's like me personally, I use like whoever hires me to kind of like gauge like, okay, like what would my hourly rate be and how comfortable am I like saying that?
Yeah.
I think what the issue is that like I think people see everybody doing like so many things at once and only see like the like the end point at a certain time, to where it's like you don't understand that like it's a lot of trial and error just for you to feel comfortable that you can execute like this is your hourly rate.
Right. And I think that I don't think either people are wrong on those sides.
Yeah.
Some people want to get in and work for $25 an hour, and some people are, when they're first starting out, they want to work for $250 an hour.
Yeah.
And like I don't think either are wrong. People got their own ways about it, but like, I don't know. People are just different.
Yeah, but you also have to like you have to go back to whoever like the employer is or whoever's like, giving you the money, obviously. Like, if freaking like Apple hit me today and was like, hey, so what are we doing? I'd be like, all right. Well, you're Apple. You're probably making this money in like every 3 seconds.
Yeah. I see.
You know what I mean? But if it's like the homie, for example, I'm kind of just like, even at some point, like
the family and friends discount.
Sometimes I might just pull up, get drunk, and be like, "Hey, like, let me just hop on."
Open bar and free food. And say less.
No, it's up. I think you got to do that too. I think it's important to just like always, not find yourself like too lit to ever go back in and like do something like that. For sure.
It's humbling, man. I mean, those are just like those situations. Like when I say like I'll still do stuff for free to this day, like for homies or whatever, like I will still freaking do it. Yeah. Because it's like, dude, like I don't see everybody that I want to see like on a daily basis. So it's like, oh, cool, we get to just hang out and be like, okay, cool, I get to DJ. So I get to choose to be social and also antisocial at the same time.
Right, which is fire. No, it's a good time. I think about it all the time. All of us in here are just so blessed to be able to get to create like we do.
Oh, absolutely.
And we get to live in LA. It's just a blessing that like, we're able to find our way through things like that. I want to talk about the club. Talk about the club.
As a DJ who does club events, do you how do you feel about requests? Do they piss you off?
Oh God.
Here we go. This is
ask the number one Bad Bunny requester over here.
Okay. I do it as a joke now. I mean, that's your question.
I mean, like, it's cool as long as it like makes sense.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's it. Like if I'm playing,
unless they give them $50.
I mean that work though. I mean maybe sometimes, right?
Sometimes. But if it's something like super outlandish, like if somebody's trying to request like a rock song in the middle of like a super hip hop set. Yeah. I know like better than anyone just like not to do that because you'll just mess up the entire vibe of the club.
Yeah. Unless you're mess up like your reputation.
It'll mess up. Yeah, and that's like the most important thing. My reputation is way more important than some money. Yeah. But like if I'm playing Spanish music and someone's like, "Here's $500 to play another Bad Bunny song." Come on.
Say less.
Say less, man.
He's like, you want the whole album?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'll play the whole album for you, bro.
No, for sure.
Is Bad Bunny the most requested usually?
Yeah. As of lately, it's been a whole bunch of Bad Bunny requests. Do DJ memes make it your way?
Like on your timeline?
Not very often.
No, but do you guys get like the videos where it's like people requesting Bad Bunny on like the freaking iPhone?
I haven't seen that.
I've never seen a Bad Bunny one.
Yeah, you've seen the Bad Bunny ones.
It's probably gonna show up on our phones now that we just mentioned it.
Yeah. No, I was seeing you know Jay Espinoza.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he was doing I forget what it was. Maybe it was like a Beyonce and Rihanna night or something like that. And somebody came up and requested a Rihanna song while a Beyonce song was on. And he was just like, this is nuts. Like, we're at it. Well, of course, there's going to be some more Rihanna coming on soon.
Yeah, of course.
But, like, I think not only him, but, like, I often see, like, DJs, talking about the request thing. And I can't ever tell if it's annoying or not. I mean, I could kind of see it being a little bit. It's like, hey, I'm up here doing my thing. I'm gonna try to provide, the entertainment.
Yeah.
But I don't know. At a certain point, like if somebody's, just being too persistent,
bro. There was like, okay,
you got to
now I have a specific moment in mind.
At some point, I just go like if they see me next to him, they'll ask me, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't tell them.
Dude, Jackie will literally be my bodyguard, like. From like anything, whether it be like song requests, some chick, or like just some dudes being like hella like weird. I'm just like,
weird. I'm just
please handle. I'm done in like 5 minutes. No, but I have one specific moment in mind now. So it was I was doing a wedding in Austin, Texas this year, and so literally this guy had requested some sort of Future song.
Okay,
and so I genuinely looked.
Yeah.
I said, hey, bro, like, I don't have it. My bad. And he's like, all right, well, I'll give you like $500, bro. I'm like, I just don't have it.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. He was like, I'll be right here. This guy was literally just like on my neck, waiting for me to like download it. And I'm like, bro, like, please back up.
Dang.
Please.
Yeah.
Like, you are all up in my ear about that. That is when, like, bro, money is not going to buy me like that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, the song request is not, like, I don't want to play it at this point.
Yeah.
And it's like not that serious.
You're good. But you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'll just be, like, feeling really good. And, like, if the song that somebody requests makes sense, I'm like, yeah, I could figure that out. Yeah. Like, I think the other day, like, someone was requesting, like, some Taylor Swift song. And I was like, sure, I could definitely figure this out.
Oh, yeah, nah, for sure. And sometimes it's fun, like, because the nights that we've gone with you guys, like, you'll throw it back sometimes.
Yeah.
And, like, add in, like, some
He means the songs, not my ass.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, wait a minute. There might be a couple Twitch streams.
There might be a couple Twitch streams out there.
But no, it always keeps it fun. But so Bad Bunny's definitely most requested right now.
Most requested, and I think more so because people know it's a meme that they just do it anyway.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. I feel like that's Janet every time too. Like that's what she's trying to put on. I see her on her story just going up and everything.
You've requested a couple songs before though.
I have.
Yeah. You request some songs.
I do. What songs do I request?
A whole bunch of Bad Bunny.
Yeah, but that's like I want to switch it up in the club.
Okay, like for you right now, if you were to request any song right now,
it would probably be a Bad Bunny song. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys? If y'all were to request any song right now to a DJ, what would it be? Specifically. Yeah. This is like me basically asking your favorite song right now.
Oh, I wouldn't do my favorite song right now.
You wouldn't request.
It's like a Kehlani song.
What is it?
It could be for an R&B party, you never
know.
See?
True, but I'd probably request Pilo.
Okay.
oh yeah, you did request a Pilo.
But like, I don't think I'd pick a specific song, because Any Given Sunday by Kehlani is like a R&B vibe.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't request it at a club, but I'd probably just say Pilo.
Yeah, which I feel like you can never go wrong with Pilo.
Would you ever request one of your own songs?
I wouldn't. But, okay, I will say this though. I wouldn't request my own song in the club, but when I'm shooting pool and they got a jukebox, there are some songs on some jukeboxes that I'll go in and I'll throw in like Dixie Cup or something like that. Just put it on the background in the probably I'll play 5 songs and one of them will be Dixie Cup, and I'll just be shooting pool, just like this is crazy.
Wait, that's kind of a vibe.
Yeah, no, I like that. I'll put it on if it's like that. But if I'm in a club.
4x4.
Oh yeah, just throw 4x4
short. Let's go.
No, that's exactly what I was gonna say though. It's too short. I think the majority of DJs have too short. And I'm in LA like most of the time. You know, I'll be maybe at a strip club or something, and like that's what I want to hear is blow the whistle. The majority of DJs have blow the whistle.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the song that he uses to gauge, like in the club or wherever he's at, how many Bay people there are. Because he'll play it and then he'll be like, "Where's my Bay people at?" And then like, oh, like they start hyping up. He's like, okay, now he can determine whether he can keep on going with Bay or just cut it at that.
Get out of there, yeah. No, which is cool. But it's fun when you get those moments because then you got a nice Bay Area mix that you can just run through right quick.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, and I don't know if other DJs do this, but I like to think of like my music selection in kind of like blocks, for example. So like if I'm in LA, DJing in LA rather, and I like to think of it, if there's Bay Area people in the space, I can go through 3 or 4 Bay Area songs max before I switch into like a whole different set.
I see.
Because I have to compensate for everybody in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the other day, there was like...
What happened?
Oh my god!
It was the other day at the club, and there was just hella dudes.
Yeah.
Dude, like it was a cock fest.
Yeah, straight up.
So I'm over here like I'm playing like twerk music. I'm playing like City Girls, Sweetie, and everything. And I'm looking up. I'm like, oh man, no one's moving to this. So I kind of had to read the room, even though there were some girls in the space. I was like, okay, let me play like festival stuff, like Mo Bamba, like Travis Scott. Literally, that's when the entire club starts to just like shake and move, and I'm like, yeah, now it's a freaking
jumping and doing mosh pits in the club. I'm just like,
and then it's so funny because then I'll go back into like like twerking stuff, and then that's when all the dudes just kind of just like regress again. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I had my buzz. Let me go get a drink again.
Right. No, I think that's really important being able to read a room though, especially as a DJ. You know, I think that like you're only gonna get that experience being in front of a room, right? Obviously. Yeah. I was gonna ask you too, do you think it's important for like say like an EDM type DJ to have that experience and be able to know club rooms like hip hop, pop, top 40?
Yeah.
You know, do you think that it's important for them to have that skill as well?
Yeah, truthfully, I do. And, I wouldn't speak for an EDM DJ because I'm not, like, an EDM DJ. And when I go through, like, my EDM sets, Jackie knows exactly what I play. Go, tell him my EDM sets.
He literally just plays, like, maybe, like, 3 EDM artists. Like, like, house music. It's not even, like, hardcore EDM. It's house music. And it pisses me off because, like, I tried getting him into, like, certain house music. Probably into, like, a year out into we started dating, and we were in the car. I remember we were driving down like main Hollywood, and I was in the car. I was like, "Oh yeah, listen to this. Like this artist is Chami and Mala." And I'm trying to tell him, and he's like trying to get into it. I could see him trying, and he's like, "Yeah, you know what? This just isn't my thing." And I was like, "Okay, you know what? Whatever. That's fine." He goes on to Twitch, and that's when he's going on to his 365. And then all his Twitch homies are all like, "Oh yeah, try this," and he's all like, "Yeah." He ends up doing a whole like house DJ set. I looked at him. I was like, "Those are literally the exact artists I showed you." I was like, "How the fuck are you gonna do?"
It was the setting. That's why. Like, I'm not gonna listen to like EDM in the car, but I'll listen to EDM like
maybe at a set.
Like if I know like, oh yeah, I like these songs, like because I know what I want to listen to EDM wise. But yeah, to answer your question, I can't talk for an EDM DJ, but what I can say is like being a DJ who I primarily focus on hip hop and I'll do R&B, but then I'll do a lot of weddings where there's like, like a whole bunch of requests. Like literally like the other day when I was over in, where was I? Yosemite, they were requesting a whole bunch of country songs. And I'm just like, sure.
Miles like, that's mine. Yeah. That's my type of wedding.
Turn up.
But you know what I mean? It was like, so then I had to get versed with like country music. And like I obviously have to figure out what the hits are. But I like to think of it as like, as a DJ, you want to be prepared for any setting you get thrown in. I might not always DJ like a country, like a country set or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like what's that festival?
Stagecoach.
Right. But one day if like someone's like, yo, do you want to DJ Stagecoach? Is like, hell yeah, I'll DJ Stagecoach, but I got to be ready for that moment.
Yeah.
Who did? Diplo did.
Yeah, and I heard
sick.
Diplo's set was just ill because he
Fire.
did like this country song into I think it was like the Bounce Would It Drop. He did something.
Oh, I think
he did something crazy.
The Luke Bryan song.
Maybe, yeah.
I think so.
But no, he definitely mixed Too Short in. He had Blow the
that's what
Whistle
it was.
into
It
his
was Too
set
Short.
too. Yeah. But I'm because I got a friend who's getting into DJing or has been, and more he wants to be more in that world, the EDM,
The
like
EDM world.
festival type stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of like the smaller type gigs where it's like open format or hip hop R&B, he will shy away from just because like that's not really where he wants to be at. As far as like a DJ, he wants to just strictly be like festival, obviously, or like even smaller type, EDM shows. But I don't know. In my head, I always kind of thought like, I don't know. I think it'd be important for you to go in there and just like be able to, tackle and know how to move that room as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to kind of put it into your perspective too, like, because you're like a hip hop artist, it's like I couldn't imagine you performing at like a emo night, for example, right? Like that just clearly wouldn't make sense. But also to help out like your homie too, it's kind of like you wouldn't get like the Blow the Whistle meets Luke Bryan.
Yeah.
Unless you knew that those two songs existed and you figured out a way in which they could work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the type of person who likes to go to the club early so I could listen to like how every other DJ does, because they might play a song that I haven't even thought of in years, and then I'll draw inspiration from that.
Yeah.
I think the dopest thing you could do as a DJ is, go to a hip hop club. You could try it at a hip hop club and see like how you like it. It might not be like your sort of thing, but you might draw some sort of inspiration from just like being there and learning how like hip hop clubs like are formatted. Because I mean, if the biggest hip hop club in the world, let's say like Dre's, for example, like hit up your homie, like if I'm your homie, I would at least try to figure it out. But if you haven't like gone through the rounds of like at least doing hip hop clubs here or there, like you really won't know what to play.
Right.
And I think also too, like one of the house DJs that I listen to, his name is Mala. He mixed his own song with like a Notorious B.I.G. song, and it's like, again, it's like he creates his own music, but also took a whole different style, a genre of music, and created his own. So I think that's like, again, it goes back to knowing different genres of music and having that type of pool in your laptop and just playing with it makes you different from everybody else.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and will stand out too. And I think that's like, because you can entertain the majority of people. You know what songs to play with the majority of people, but like obviously, like you're saying, like if you know a couple like Bay Area songs only Bay Area people would know, you can throw them into your set without throwing it off.
Yeah.
But then you're really gonna capture those Bay Area people that are like, oh, this guy.
Exactly.
I remember this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I think.
I mean, he did it with you at Joey's.
Exactly.
You know?
And now here I am. I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan.
Well, like imagine you too. It's like, you released like a whole like hip hop country album, which I've never told you, but is just like absolutely fire, man. The fact that you went through like an entire album just doing that. But imagine if you didn't like country music or you didn't like make your way to like country music, like that album would have never existed.
For sure. Yeah. No, and it's just
no Dixie cups, no 4x4s,
straight
no
up.
none of that.
None of that. I'm gonna just throw this in there just because it's on my mind and we're about to announce it. I do have a show for 680 South coming up. And by the time this is, we're gonna announce it today, so by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be up.
Lit.
But, yeah,
sick.
so
Cool.
it's gonna be in Sacramento. But yeah, I'm really excited about that, and thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about that album too, and just to get to play it live.
Congrats,
yeah,
man.
thank you. Yeah.
Is it gonna be where JC did her thing?
It might be. It's either Goldfield Trading.
Yeah,
Post.
it was Goldfield.
Yeah, that room is so much fun.
It's fun.
Yeah,
dude. Like honestly, when
so
you
excited.
it's fun. Like because I'd never been to a place like that before.
Yeah.
Felicia, have you been there?
I don't think so.
We're talking about the same one. It's like a bar on this side, and then you go in
around.
and
it's like a little
room.
stage area, and
Have
it
you
all
ever had
looks
a show there?
Western.
Yeah,
Maybe
no, it's
I
all
did.
whole Western themed too. So I feel like it'll fit the vibe of the album and everything. But yeah, on my first tour on the solo side is where I played in Sacramento over there, and I was just like, I love this venue so much, and the show was awesome. Sacramento is great; it's always a good time. And I just hit Will, and I was like, hey, can we get this venue? He was like, yeah.
What'd you say is your favorite city
to perform in. It might be either it's between like Sacramento, the Bay, and LA. Like just energy wise, like
last time
LA energy is really, really good, especially like the last show that I had here. I always have a really good time in Sac though. I got love for Sacramento.
Sacramento.
But yeah, no, good times. So that's the Bay Area. Okay. We're in the Bay. Let's take it to down here to LA. Okay. Back to LA. What part of LA did you grow up in?
East LA. So pretty much Boyle Heights, East LA is where I born and raised.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then how, like when you were growing up, was there anything in school that you took that was like as far as like, broadcasting or radio or anything?
Honestly, not really. Like I didn't find out about like broadcasting. Initially, I wanted to go into sports journalism and be a sideline reporter.
Got you. Yeah.
And I went to school for that. I took broadcast journalism classes, and then I had one bad professor who just kind of ruined it for me. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yeah, this isn't it. I didn't really like it. I looked into more of like the sideline reporting, and it was just like, there's a lot of stats involved. And I told myself, I was like, you're not going to watch every game. You're not going to like keep up with all of this. Like, it's way too much. And I was like, okay, but I like talking to people. I like being in front of the camera. So what other things can I do? Found out about entertainment reporting, because then I know I watch red carpets. I love like celebrity gossip, and like I love just being like, in the know of things like that. Not like a chismosa or anything, but like
no, for sure.
But I started getting into that, and then that's when I figured out, okay, like, you know what, let me see how I can go the entertainment route. Started working for that company that I mentioned, and then did a lot of on-camera stuff and edited my own videos in like an entertaining way of like doing little clips from like movies or shows and putting them in and like response to like what I was saying.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just kind of like, I stopped going to school for actually everything, and I've just been grinding it out, and I've been doing all this without a degree, to be honest. So
that's awesome. And it's cool that like that's something that's possible. You know what I mean? Especially like with today, and like how big of a part does social media play in this?
It honestly has played such a huge part, because I didn't realize until recently, like I would say like my last 3 TikTok videos have just been like day in my life of being like an entertainment host at Dodgers or Galaxy or whatever. And those go crazy. Like, it's just like people will say like, oh my God, like, I didn't know that this type of job existed. And a lot of the time when people talk to me and like I get to meet people, they're like, oh, like, it's such a random job sometimes to people, and it is, because no one ever thinks about, like, you see it happening, but you never really understand, like, okay, how do you do that job, like, but social media is a huge factor. A lot of people on TikTok, as far as like entertainment reporters, they've gotten their jobs, they've gotten gigs like on red carpets recently, just because they do these little 30-second clips on TikTok talking about the Kardashians, talking about, who's doing what, who saw who is one of my Kanye West videos that I did on Instagram. I was talking about how he started dating this model, Chaney Jones, it was just like a Kim Kardashian lookalike. Like she went out with him dressed in the same outfit. I called her the Walmart version of Kim K. And people like, it was like, at first it was like at 3,000 views. And like, I was just like, okay, like whatever. It was just the people that followed me. Overnight, I think now it probably has like 80,000 views.
Crazy.
And people either like love my commentary or people like fucking hate it. People are like, oh, like you're such a bitch for calling her the Walmart version of Kim K. I was like, I thought it was funny, but okay, like, And like, you're going to get that, especially being an entertainment reporter. People are going to disagree with you. People want the tea, but also people like are always going to tell you like, oh, well, what are you doing with your life? It's like, well, this is my job. I got to be in the know of people,
Yeah.
So social media plays a huge part, but you also have to have thick skin for it too.
No, absolutely. Because like, you can really let like some comments get to you for sure. I think if you're not able to brush them off, a majority of the time there's only a few of them amongst a lot of really positive comments. But I know that a lot of times like couple of those negative ones could stand out and really, get to you and can be discouraging.
Yeah,
especially in the beginning.
No, definitely. I think when we first started Mexipino, like I literally would go to him and I'd be like, I fucking like hate all these comments. Blah, blah,
He's
blah.
like, I want to quit. I'm like, what do you mean? This is good.
He's, like he sees negative comments like in such a positive way. Like he's just like, he goes, like people like they're gonna talk and this and that, but he's all like, we're attracting both like the good side and the bad side. And I forgot what video it was that like the guys in the comments just hated me. What was it?
It's normally whenever we talk about like, I guess like guy stuff versus girl stuff.
Yeah, okay. I think it was like the red flags in guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the clip was, what are the red flags? What's a red flag that would like immediately turn you off from like a guy?
Yeah,
right?
and this was like an Instagram meme that like I saw and I sent it to him and it was funny because 3 of the things on that list were like they were relatable to him.
It was Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and like cryptocurrency or something like that.
Something like that. So I sent it to him and he's like, let's talk about it. So then that became one of our clips. And all the guys in the comments, they're all like, "Oh, well, she's like, what do you say?
She's like, she don't know anything.
She don't know what she's talking about." They're all like, you could tell she got nothing inside her head. And I was literally like, at that point, I didn't care about negative comments, but I was just like, yo. And so like, I started responding to some of the guys. They're all like they would say like, "Oh, that's why she doesn't have a boyfriend." I was like, "Did you not see the clip? That is my boyfriend." Like, what you mean? Like, and then
funny. The internet.
Like, yeah, it was just like, but, it's whatever at this point, the negative comments.
Yeah. The internet's just funny.
It is. It's funny. When you look at it as like who are you? It's like 0 followers, like, like 100 posts and it's user like 057. I don't fucking care.
No, I will say too, though, like, for one, that's a very dedicated fan base. You guys are calling out Joe Rogan, Elon Musk.
Oh, for sure.
Like those guys are hardcore.
Yeah. I know.
Course, right?
But going back to what we were saying in the beginning is that like, I love them. I don't idolize them. I just like, I fuck with like how they like move about in life. Whereas Jackie, she's like,
I'm very opinionated about it. I'm just like,
do your thing, but I don't agree with them. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah. But then also too, I was gonna say like, I think a lot of times, if you're getting some hate comments here and there, like negative comments, it's usually coming from a person who's not familiar with you, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool because it's like, okay, now that your video or your clip reached a new audience to where it's like, this person didn't know who we were before and felt however, to comment on it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like, if you start seeing like something like that, in a way, like, I kind of think it's cool because you're reaching a new audience.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I responded. There was like a person who commented like, I want to say maybe like 5 times. And I like thought about it. I was like, okay, he commented 5 times. That means the clip probably ran through twice. And he commented, which then means like it's generating more views like on other people's like For You pages. So I just commented back. I was like, thank you for the content. You're boosting our like, you're boosting our audience. And then he responded with like a middle finger emoji. And I was just like, cool, thanks. Again, I'm getting responses from you. So
reel
it's
it
cool.
in, reel it in.
No, I love it.
Going back to the sports stuff, I feel like sports is like mostly like men and stuff. Being a woman, do you find it like difficult? Or any like comments from anyone?
Like at first it was like it's definitely interesting because like there are a lot more women in sports now, and that's really, really awesome. And we get praised a lot now, more than we used to. Sometimes you still get the oh, well, what do you know about like if I say I work for Dodgers and some like randos like, oh, well, who played in like the 1997 World Series. I was like, dog, like
bro,
I wasn't even born at that time. Like, what do you expect? Like, I'm not gonna do that. But then for the most part, everyone has been very welcoming. Being in the entertainment aspect, however, I still get those men who want to objectify you, and it's just like, I don't need that. And I set my boundaries too.
Yeah.
And I feel like now a lot of women in sports are calling out the people who do that. They're not staying quiet. A lot of us are very, very vocal, and we're proud of what we do. So we don't want anyone trying to dim our light. And it's really cool to see, how many people being in like working in front office too, you see how many women hold high like job levels.
Yeah.
Like my boss is a woman. Like like the social media manager and director of the Dodgers is a woman. You know, and it's because of her that they have one of the best social media platforms in the MLB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I feel like just slight round of applause right here. Just no, that's really awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. And I'm sure you enjoy it too though. What's it like? Obviously you're a Dodgers fan.
Mm-hmm.
And you're from San Francisco, so I'm assuming you're a Giants fan. Are you a Giants fan?
Not anymore.
You're not. Are you a Dodgers?
I am.
Oh, what?
Oh my God!
Oh
wait, hold on.
A picture of what he wore this past Saturday.
What do you have on?
I will say he spent money on a Dodgers jersey this past Saturday, so I kind of just gotta. Let me pull it up real quick. Where is it?
Man, you spend a lot of time out here. How long you been out here in LA?
2014.
He's wearing a Dodgers jersey.
Wow.
He even said, "Can you get me a Mookie Betts jersey?" So
he's raw. He's dope.
He pointed out a specific player. So.
Okay, first of all, let me
go.
give you the order in which I care about sports.
Okay.
Right? The order in which I really care about sports.
Yeah.
It's basketball, and it's basketball.
And that's it. Yeah.
You cannot mess with me when it comes. I will never wear a jersey that is not the Warriors.
Right.
That's such a lie. That's such a lie.
What?
Here we
He
go.
wore a Suns jersey.
Here we go.
Oh, I lost a bet. I literally lost a bet.
Okay. That's what you had on?
Yeah. It was a Devin Booker jersey. We were not even going to talk about that. I will never. How about this? I will never willingly wear another person's jersey unless it's like a player that I like really mess with, right? But like, so my this is a very personal way of thinking. I'm a Warriors fan. I will watch the Giants, and I took my ass to every single Giants parade that happened within the past 10 years, which was 3.
There you go.
I went to all 3. Matter of fact, I saw people coming in with like golden brooms and whatnot when we swept Texas, and I was like, cool, I'm with it too.
What's hella funny is that like he'll like when we first started dating, I was just like, oh, you're not a Giants fan. Like I know he's a bandwagon Giants fan. Like,
1,000%.
Yeah.
And he'll own up to that. But at first he was just like, nah. And I was like, okay, name me like 3 Giants players. That's when I did that.
Yeah.
He was just like, Buster Posey. I was like, he's retired. Right. I was like, so no. He's all like, Barry Bonds. I was like,
Yeah.
And then I asked him for the manager's name. Didn't know it. I was like, he is gone.
I said Bruce Bochy.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
But he was there.
But
gotcha.
He was there.
Yeah.
So
didn't you want a John Morant jersey?
Yeah, John Morant's dope.
But then he says, I will not willingly want to wear another player.
No, I won't wear it if I like the player, if I like truly mess with them, I would. Like I would wear a Michael Jordan jersey. But
because
you know, because it's Jordan, yeah, duh. But like, you know,
I feel that. Yeah,
like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like
I heard Michael Jordan is actually I think I read it today that he's the first NBA 2K player to have like 100 on.
Oh, probably.
Like, I don't know. I don't play 2K.
I don't know.
I just thought that was an interesting fact. Maybe you guys knew, but
yeah, I'm definitely just like I will bandwagon on the Giants. Yeah. I will if the Niners won a couple years ago, I probably would have bought a Niners jersey too.
Right. There you
go. But the fact is, the Dodgers is the one who's paying me right now, so we wearing a Dodgers jersey.
There you go. Okay. There it is. No, I was gonna say because how long you been out here in LA now too?
2014.
2014? Okay, so you've been out here for some time too.
Yeah, almost 10 years.
At a certain point,
oh my gosh,
it starts to feel a little bit more homey out here.
Yes.
LA is fun. It's a good time. Fun. You know, especially like, you know, when you first starting to come out here and making trips and, you know, getting gigs and everything. You know, it's cool. It's a good time. But did you ever think that it could get cozy like that? Like, you know, feel a little bit more homey?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it wasn't until like pandemic where I really started to feel homey because, you know, being in LA, not from here, it's like you're always out and about. So it's like I never really spent time at my apartment. Yeah. But it's like with quarantine happening and we're kind of just all forced to be in our apartments or, you know, wherever we live. I was like, cool, I could make myself comfy. I could stretch my legs out a little bit more. I bought YouTube TV over quarantine. So I'm like, cool, I'm watching all the games now. I'm chilling. Like,
right. And it made it cool.
Yeah.
But speaking of homie too, like, so did you guys start out as homies, or did you, or how did it?
Yo, the way he's transitioning is hilarious. I love it. Speaking
like
of Michael Jackson, speaking of homie.
No, so did you guys start out as friends though first, like, or where did you
Nico
guys end up
stalked me,
crossing paths? Okay,
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
what it was. So
Here,
we're
give
back to
your-
social media.
Give your version, then I'll give my version.
No, he didn't stalk me. Kind of, but well, so we met at work actually. I was at iHeart. He was producing the night show and DJing the night show, and I was just kind of like in the office doing a lot of the contesting work and fulfilling prizes and everything like that. And I didn't know Nico until we had like a mutual friend. Our mutual friend actually interviewed for the same job that I did.
Okay.
And
yeah.
we all ended up getting it. So it was like, it was cool. But then,
You know Cook, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was with you at Joey?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, so Cook was our mutual friend. And then that's when they started doing, they were going to do Ye the Party at Apartment 503. And so then that's when I met him, like actually formally.
Yeah.
And then he was just telling me, he's like, yeah, just go. I was like, yeah, I didn't actually go. I RSVP'd, but I didn't go.
Why is your story so off from mine?
Because
Okay.
that's how I remember it. I
Your
don't know.
story is
But
your
anyway,
story is completely
but
different
then anyway,
from mine.
so he would like come down to like my fourth floor. Stop. And he would come down to the fourth floor where I would work, and he would just constantly come, and I was just like, okay. So I started talking to him. He asked me out through like a note because he didn't want anyone else to hear him asking me out.
I love it.
'Cause
I mean,
now-
but a note is kind of like old school too,
Yeah.
right?
Now
I
we're on the
honestly-
same page.
Okay, here you go.
Oh my god.
What,
It was
no?
the homie joke that wanted you to.
No, no page. What?
Yeah, I
okay.
get it. But
Come on,
anyway.
come on.
And then I initially thought the note was like a piece of trash.
Oh,
And
wow.
then I was gonna throw it away because then like he tossed it to me. I was like, does he not have a trash can on that side? Like, so, but then like I looked at it and then it had writing, so I opened it and then he asked
Yeah,
me.
asked her
Yeah.
out on a date.
So
We actually went to Joey's downtown LA.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Look at it, man. Joey is
Freaking
just
Joey's,
bringing
man.
people together. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, they're really putting on. Oh, okay. So from there, that's how you guys. So
Yeah.
that was the beginning of everything.
Yeah,
we
it
started
was. That was our
dating.
first date.
February 1st, 2020 was our first date.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then our
Yeah.
second date was actually, it was fun. So I actually got tickets to this thing called like Sweetheart Night
At
Ooh,
at
at Disney.
Disneyland.
Yeah, Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then like one of the promo managers, she was like, yeah, like if you want to go. I'm like, all right, sure. You talking about, first of all, I didn't even know it was like Sweetheart
Sweetheart
Night or
Night.
whatever. She just said, yeah, you want to go to Disneyland at night for free with someone? Sure, run it up.
And it was
Yeah.
like a private event, so it was gonna be not like there wasn't gonna be super
Crowded and
packed.
stuff.
Yeah, so then I
Oh.
asked Jackie to go with me, and this is literally like maybe 2 weeks later, like literally
It-
around Valentine's
yeah.
Day.
It was the day before Valentine's, I think.
Yes, it was. And so we both pull up, and then as soon as we get into the park, they both give us like Sweetheart Night, like
Like,
The
like
neck.
the
necklaces,
lanyards.
lanyards, and that's when I'm just like, oh shoot.
And then we looked at each other
I'm
like,
like, yo, it's gonna be nothing but couples in here right now.
I love it. So, what you said that was your second date?
That was our
Yeah.
second date.
that
You
was-
lying? Though.
No,
had no
I'm not
idea?
lying, bro. I didn't know.
That's crazy.
I was
mean,
just like, okay, cool. A easy night at Disneyland. Like,
Yeah.
why not?
he's just like, hey, you want to come with me to this thing? Like, I don't know. I guess some park over here, at Disney. Like, yeah, I guess, like, for free, I guess. Like, we'll just
No,
go
so we got
together.
there, and it was since it was like we got the tickets from work. There was also like people that we worked with there, and we were
Oh,
trying to be low key about us
man.
dating because like we didn't know if it was like frowned upon or
Yeah.
and then we just didn't want people in our business because there was like hella people that would like talk.
Yeah.
And so then it was funny because we were standing in line for I think like a churro or something.
Yeah, and then like I literally turned the corner and my manager was actually there, and I said, "Oh,
Like we got right
let's
behind
turn
him. and the
around,
manager
yo."
was like, no. We
That's
just-
amazing.
Let's turn
Yeah.
around."
But apparently, like people ended up seeing us together that day. I found out later on.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
They're like, oh.
They were like, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I love that. And we were wondering too, as a couple, does it make it easier or harder to have a podcast or do business together like that?
Ooh,
You go first.
you go first. I went first for the.
Oh, I'll go first?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I didn't think this question would pop up.
Oh shit! I mean, in my head, I think that it makes it easier in some places and maybe harder in others, right? I mean, because you guys spend a lot of time with each other, so I think that like conversation, obviously.
Well, so we don't live with each other right now.
Yeah.
So we don't have like that same amount of time that a couple would, like as if they would live with each other. And, you know, because we're maybe like, how long, like 10 miles away?
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, it actually does make it difficult to, like, schedule a podcast.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we had to, like, put it on a schedule to where it's like, hey, like, we'll do, like, content, like, every Tuesday or something like that. But then the difficulty that comes with that is, like, that becomes part of our time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whereas like people would, you know, couples would like come together and, you know, just like hang out, Netflix and chill, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this is our podcast time. And then by the time we're done with the podcast, it's kind of like, all right, you know, let's kind of just like, we need a timeout. We kind of just need to like chill for a bit, whatever. So we've found like a good, I guess you could call it like work relationship
like balance.
Yeah.
It's important, man. Like, she'll even remind me all the time, like, I don't want to just hang out and like do a podcast.
I don't know I sound like
want to like just
okay. I was like, I didn't know I sound.
But you know, even when it comes to like, you know, if like I'm DJing, which is like 3-4 nights a week, or like, you know, like I see her eyes right now.
Like, yeah.
Or even like when like she's hosting, it's like we try to find the time to like support each other with those things, but then in addition to that, also find some time to just do regular couple stuff.
Yeah.
Like the first time we went out in a while was where did I take? Oh, I just took her to Big Catch like a couple days ago.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
What is that? I don't know what
It's
that is.
like
It's like a seafood Asian restaurant.
Asian
Yeah, we had like garlic noodles, Mongolian beef, and like some truffle fries.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was really
That's
good.
fire,
But then
yeah.
like also too, like we do have our boundaries when it comes to like work too, because we are on radio and like we use a lot, like sometimes we'll talk about our relationship on radio, you know?
Got you.
But
Yeah.
we have our boundaries of like we know we didn't talk about it, but like we know it's like, hey, like I wouldn't want you to say this is what's going on, and I wouldn't want you to say this is what's going on.
Yeah,
You know?
nah, for sure.
But there are instances where our work does collide, and it's really cool. Like he'll DJ at Dodgers pregame, and I'll be hosting that day, and it's just like, okay, this is cool. Like, you know, he's there and he's doing his thing, and people love him there.
Yeah.
And this Saturday, we're like he's DJing a quinceañera, I'm emceeing it.
Oh,
Yes.
fire. Yeah. Nah,
That's when
yeah.
like our work and like that's kind of like our time together, but also like we make it a point, like he said, to separate the time from work together to like actual time together and being in our relationship.
Which is good. I feel like is important for that, and especially too, I will say like the space that you guys do have apart in my head also I think is super healthy for it as well too, because you guys have the podcast and everything together. Like just having time apart, I feel like, you know, is gonna be super healthy for that.
Definitely.
As well.
And
But
there'll also be times like this literally happens like every time I'm at the club now. Like whether somebody notices something from like you know, DJ videos or whatever, like more times it'll be, yo, I watch your guys' podcast.
That's
I
fire.
listen to you guys. I'm just like
Like we went out to eat a couple weeks ago, and then some guy, like we were walking down the stairs of the parking garage, and the guy's like, "Oh, not making TikToks today," and I turned around, I was like, "Excuse me?"
even I was just like
and then
what?
he's all like, "Yeah," he goes, "I like, you know, I see your podcast on TikTok." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Thank you." I was like, "Okay, like that's cool."
That's
Yeah, and that
fire.
was us just trying to go to like a little restaurant in Burbank, and that's when our workload like collides with our in real life too, and we just
Yeah.
get like little reminders. It's
Yeah,
kinda, you know, it's
yeah.
kind of cool.
It's
Oh
cool.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, Mexipino podcast. Mexipino also sounds like a fire barbecue.
It
Like,
does.
like the combination of both sides,
Ooh.
like
Oh,
with
yeah.
the food and everything. Like I feel like would be an amazing barbecue get
Yeah, it
together.
actually would be.
It
yeah.
would be.
At
We
some
should have
barbecue.
like an event like that.
We definitely could.
Yeah.
You know who we need? We need oh god, it's like this sisig spot over in the Bay. Is it Senor Sisig? Yeah, it's Senor Sisig. That's literally like the epitome of like.
I like how I knew the
Mexican,
name, but I've never
Filipino
eaten there.
food.
I always want to are there more often things that cross paths between Filipino and Mexican culture?
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Well, what are some of the things that cross?
I would say the first thing that pops into my mind is religion. Like we're both like but like the cultures themselves, they're very Catholic based.
Yeah.
So
super Catholic.
That's what I feel like.
One thing that comes to my mind, it's definitely the language.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, like Spain actually conquered both the Philippines and Mexico, like at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our language derives from Spain. And so it's funny growing up. What?
I just thought of a word that means two completely different things in our language.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that. So like we'll have a lot of like similar words. Like Jesus Christ.
Like basura.
Yeah, like basura, which means trash.
Is both for the same.
Okay, gotcha.
Exactly.
And then we like some words are spelled just like with an S instead of like a Z, or like,
or some words are even like mushed together. So I like to think of it as like Filipinos like to say way less.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Okay.
So like in Spanish, you'd be like "Cómo estás?"
mm-hmm.
In Tagalog, which is my Filipino or my family's native language, is in Tagalog it would be "Kamusta?"
Got you.
"Cómo estás?" "Kamusta?"
It's pretty. Yeah, it's very
It's
close.
the same
It's
thing,
very
just
close.
very like jumbled together.
But then also you have to be very careful because some things can mean different things. Like puto in Spanish is a bad word, but in Tagalog,
it's food.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's like a little rice cake.
Yeah, so it can mean like you could get really in trouble.
It's
like,
crazy. It's crazy.
No. What about menudo?
Menudo.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, we have menudo.
But it's different, right?
It's
Or
just
is it the same type of dish?
Yeah, it's basically just Filipino style versus Mexican style.
Yeah, it's just like different. I like flan is the same. Like, but they say like leche flan, but we just call it flan.
Got you. Okay.
And yeah, there's there's definitely similarity. I'm trying to think. Like lechon, we have lechon too. Lechon is
it's just grilled, not grilled. People were getting on me in the comments. It's not fried pig.
It's grilled. No, it's fried, isn't it? I don't know.
It's pig.
It's pig, but it's also like we have lechon too, and it's pig too. But I think ours is fried or grilled. I don't even know.
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's crazy. Favorite part about growing up in East LA?
Ooh, the food.
Food? Yeah.
The food.
Well, what's some food out there that you're excited about?
Birria tacos all the time. Like, I love tacos. Like, I will choose a taco over burrito any day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But, like, it's because, like, I can keep on eating.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then raspados are, like, everywhere. Like, the elote man, he'll, like, come by, ice cream trucks. Like, I just feel like the culture in LA, like, and especially in East LA, I just love it. It's all, I've grown up with it, and it's always home, of course, but, like, the food there is completely different.
How are you not going to mention the molcajete?
Oh, molcajete is his favorite thing.
Have you guys had that before?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a hot stone, like rock stone.
Yeah.
And inside it's kind of like a little shaped in the cup, and you put a bunch of salsa. You put carne asada, chicken, chorizo. We call it queso fresco, which is just like fresh cheese.
Yeah.
Mexican cheese stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then nopal, which is cactus. And it's all there, and it's just the stone is so hot that it cooks it for you.
Wow, yeah.
It's like boiling salsa, just
No,
like heating
that's his favorite thing
it's
ever.
so good, yo.
That sounds really good.
I introduced him to a lot of Mexican food, and like he like loves me for it. So
like honestly, I love the Mexican food back in the Bay, and I was like standing on it. Like the Bay got the best Mexican food, and then as soon as she showed me like all the East LA spots, even when it came down to the tacos, I'm just like. Yeah, you know what? I gotta change my opinion.
You know, that's always like, been a big topic between, a lot of my friends and I, being from the Bay Area and living here now too, specifically about the burritos. I mean, people could talk about like Mexican food in Bay in LA, but like when it comes to the burritos, like, people are always, from here, they're gonna say, oh, LA is better. And people are like, nah, the Bay Area burritos are better.
I think the tacos in LA are better, but I think the the tacos in LA are better.
Yeah.
But the burritos in the Bay are better.
Yeah. Because I think didn't the burritos start in like the Mission District in the Bay?
I think so. Yeah.
Like actually, like the burrito.
Yeah, it started in San Diego, like the California burrito style burrito.
Yeah.
But then I think like I know it's like a Mission District burrito that started in like the Bay. So like I feel like that's why Bay Area people are more inclined to like burritos over tacos.
Yeah.
Because like it originated, you know?
That's crazy. I didn't even know that, which would probably make sense. I'm on the same page with you though, because like I'll hear people talk about that all the time. Like, nah, Bay Area tacos are way better than LA tacos. I'm like,
I can't rock with
know.
that anymore.
Like I love the Bay Area though. Like don't get me wrong, I'm gonna root for them every time, but like I also got to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just being honest,
I
man.
will say the Bay Area has better Asian food than LA does.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say that.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
So have you gone up to the Bay Area?
Yeah, I have. I've been there probably like a handful of times, a little more than a handful of times already.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I had sizzling seasick for the first time over there. And
Have you guys had that? You know, so
it's kind of like a molcajete if you think about it. It's on the hot stone.
Nah.
Just that part.
Let me break this down. So, it's chopped like pork,
Yeah.
and then you put that over like a stone that basically heats it up, and then you have like some rice, and then you have like an egg on it.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I promise you, the next time you guys are in the Bay, I will take you.
Oh yeah,
bro. The Filipino food there is crazy. If you get sisig that's not sizzling, it's not gonna be good.
Okay. So
in my opinion.
So we'll be there this weekend then.
I'm there Thursday.
Wait, are you for real?
Yeah, he is
literally
Thursday.
just Thursday.
Dang. I wonder. I think I'm
I
going
leave
up
Friday.
on Friday. Yeah.
Oh.
Next time.
We'll figure it out.
No,
We'll figure
that
it
sounds
out.
awesome though. But yeah, that would be a nice little like food battle though, like Mexicano food battle, barbecue type.
Literally.
That would be lit.
Yeah, that would be. Honestly, I think we should try and
We should
consider
figure it
it.
out. I can't imagine having like a sisig taco, for example.
Yeah, No, we did have a seasick
I've
taco.
had
from
it
White
before,
Rabbit,
but we need it right off the
that's true.
sizzle.
But then, like, ever since starting our podcast, we've noticed how many like Mexipino people there are, and like Mexipino restaurants too. There's a couple in San Diego. There's some in the Bay. There's a couple here, like, and it's really interesting to see their take on like Mexican and Filipino food. Like, there's sisig burritos, there's tocino tacos, and it's really
tight.
cool.
Yeah, no, that's right.
There's adobo burritos too, I think.
Yeah, fire.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's your favorite part about East LA?
Yeah.
Great groceries. And then favorite part about being in the Bay Area?
Favorite part about being in the Bay Area? Ooh, just the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's such a Bay answer.
no, it really is.
That's
the
what I'm saying.
energy.
Literally everyone would say that.
They're
Probably.
like,
Yeah.
the
But
culture in the Bay.
That's really it though.
No, it's so weird because it's like no matter how many times I say that or try to convince somebody about that, it's like you just don't get it unless you're from there. It's so weird.
No, it's because
They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it's like he says convincing people, but the people is me.
Okay, there you go.
Because then, like, I'll tell him, like, I like to poke, like, at his buttons sometimes, and I'm just like he'll say, like, the Bay is so influential, this and that. I'm like, oh, not really, but I just say it just to piss him off. But then he's all like, you see that phone you're on? What is it? And
Right.
And then he's all like, and I was like, it's an Apple phone. He goes, you know where Apple's at? It's in the Bay. And I was just like, okay,
It's in the Bay.
all right.
Here's another argument. Here's another argument that my stepbrother just told me about that. Think about what's the latest Pixar movie that is out right now?
Lightyear?
Lightyear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what movie does that derive from?
Pixar.
No, Toy Story, right?
Oh, Toy Story.
All of y'all watch Toy Story? All of you
Yeah.
are fans of Toy Story?
Everybody,
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Guess where Pixar is? It's in the Bay.
Emeryville.
It's in Emeryville, California, right next to the IKEA.
right there. Yeah.
You
It's
can't
crazy.
tell me that's not influence. All the influence just derives from there.
He gets so passionate.
It's right
He
there.
gets so passionate about this. Oh my god.
You know what's gonna spark the rest of the world on fire? Ironically, did y'all know that I'm letting this off. I'm getting this. This is a 925. Come on. My homie is the guy who made the world's first floating fire station.
What?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Guess what? It's at Pier 39.
It's a floating fire station?
It's a floating fire station. It's literally floating on the water at Pier 39.
I know. I got to see this.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I need to see that.
The reason why we need it is because if there's fires in like Oakland or somewhere over in the bay, they can dispatch a boat to basically get unlimited water and shoot at the fire.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no,
influential.
I got it. No, I need. Yeah, that's fire.
That's fire.
See, it's fire.
She getting it.
The transition's so cute.
I love it.
No, next thing. Speaking of fire,
Come on, hey. No, that's Bay Area though.
Bay Area.
Everything is Bay Area.
That's hella funny.
I'm always gonna root for the Bay Area, except when it comes to the tacos. I don't. But also, I will say, I do need to spend some more time with tacos in the Bay Area. I don't know if I have a fair amount of tacos under my belt.
Come to the Mission District, bro.
Yeah,
Come to the Mission District.
I had a
a lot of
burrito.
Mexicans in the Mission District.
That's like literally
And that's
Mexican
why.
Central.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why.
Yeah.
No, because I had a burrito out there last time. Calais took me to a spot over there that like is one of his favorite burritos.
Yeah.
And yeah, insane.
Even Oakland got
Amazing.
some really good burritos and Mexican food.
Okay.
In general.
Yeah. No, I gotta tap in and see what's going on before I can like really give my official answer. But
then you
at
need to
the
go
moment,
to East LA too and get like birria tacos too.
I'm
That's
interested.
true.
I'm interested. I
I
will say
we need to take you guys to take them.
Have you tried the ones from Disneyland?
the birria tacos?
Mhm.
No, not
They're
yet.
actually really good.
Really? I heard that those are actually one of like the really good foods over there. It's in isn't it? It's in California Adventure. no?
Yeah, it actually might be in California Adventure.
I think that meat isn't my favorite, and maybe it's because I had a bad start with it.
Oh, where'd you have
Where'd
it?
you have it?
Well, I went to TJ.
Ooh.
And we went
Trader Joe's or?
no like TJ like Tijuana.
I like how he points at me. He's like, "No, TJ."
No, because I heard you. No, because you just said it. You just said it. No,
I just made Miles you feel hella uncomfortable.
no, because I heard you say it. Yeah, no.
Funny.
And I think it was just because I had gone so early that morning because we left to go out there and it was probably like we left the house at like 5 a.m. right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get there and we're eating tacos at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Holy frick.
I'm like, this
Oh,
don't seem
God.
normal. My stomach not even awake at that hour. Normally. And so they like messed me up. But I mean, I will say like I'm a fan of some of them, but like I'm interested in like which ones you're excited about.
Yeah, like the ones that I like, the ones that I have there, because you can also have there's like birria that's actual goat, but then
Yeah.
there's also beef birria.
Yeah.
And he really liked beef birria until my family took him to like a restaurant that has goat birria.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Goat
literally
is like,
like
the actual birria, like that's
straight off the bone.
yeah,
Yeah.
straight off the bone. And this restaurant in East LA is so like just genuine to goat birria that there's no side dishes. It's just meat. You're just eating meat.
Whoa.
Like literally,
There's
and
no
then
rice, there's no beans, there's no like they have tortillas so you can make like a little taco,
Yeah.
but it's just meat.
That
like,
sounds fire.
and when you walk in, there's literally like nothing but photos of goats,
Oh, really?
bro.
Okay, there was one big
No,
mural. That's
no, there-
like, he says like there's goats everywhere.
There's
No,
goats
one.
everywhere,
Uh-huh.
which is actually insane now because literally it's like a picture of a goat. And then it's like food form right in front of you, so
Right,
you know
right.
exactly what you're eating.
Yeah, sometimes I don't want to think about that. You know what I mean?
But
Like, while
you're like,
But
it's
you know,
not, like-
sometimes you gotta eat the goat to be the goat. You feel me?
and that's where we're gonna end off right there. Exactly. That's a great last line. Hey, thank you guys again for seriously coming through. And this was actually a really fun episode.
Yeah,
So we
it
appreciate
was.
you guys being here and making the journey out this way.
Yeah, man.
But
Good
yeah,
half
journey.
mile.
absolutely. No, we usually pick an emoji for the people who stay to the end and listen. To tweet us to let us know that they made it here.
Oh.
So what emoji are you guys into? What's a common one or whichever one you want to use for the
Oh.
episode?
My favorite one right now. Actually, you go. Go ahead.
I'll do a little K-pop part one.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's fire.
Okay,
So
pop
drop that one if you made it to the end, and definitely follow them on their socials.
Yes.
Instagram is
NICO Blitz.
I like how he promoted himself before the podcast. Anyway.
No, I was gonna.
we need all of them.
Yeah, it was the build up. It was boom, boom, and then boom.
Yeah.
You can follow me at I'm Jackie Ramirez, and then follow us
At Mexipino Podcast.
Yes.
Let's go.
Sick.
And then we're gonna do an episode with you guys, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we can definitely check out their podcast. You know, we'll both be out. How often or when do you think that one will drop?
That one's
I'm probably gonna drop the same time this one drops.
Cool.
Well, we're recording this. Yeah, like within a week.
Yeah. Awesome. Right
Next
on.
season.
Well, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you again.
Thank
Thank
you
you
guys.
guys.
Yeah.